Uh, is this it? Should be up. All right. Come on, push through. There we go. Hello, everyone. Uh, Welcome back. I wish I could say I'm happy to be here making this video today, but nothing about this video is happy. So, I'm sure you've all heard what's been going on. The assassination of Charlie Kirk and political violence and your typical leftist policy lunatic nonsense. Yeah. And, as horrible as all of that is, you think that would be the peak of what makes it horrible. But unfortunately, today I'm here to inform you that, well, that is not even the most horrifying thing to come out of this. Unfortunately, we've been granted a horrifying glimpse behind the scenes of what it really means to follow leftist values. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And this is going to be kind of a long one because I'm not a very eloquent person. If I can get on track, I can make a point very well, but I struggle to find a smooth path through ideas due to ADHD and what have you. But I still try, and that's worth something because, well, much as Charlie Kirk believed, the potential to find valuable information and insight is everywhere. It's in any person who's willing to talk to you reasonably, logically, and respectfully. The problem is, more and more, these psychopaths on the left show us that that is not the case. They have nothing positive to contribute, which is a horrifying thought because one could perceive that as dehumanizing, which it isn't. I'm not attempting to dehumanize people of leftist ideologies. They seem to be doing a perfectly good job of that themselves. But we're going to preface this entire, I assume, tangent we're about to go down with, I don't condone violence. I don't advise anyone to seek retribution. Let the legal system do its job. But what I want everyone to take away from this is, if you don't believe what they believe, they want you to die. No, I don't want anyone to die. Not you, not them, not me. I think in a polite society, these are things that can be avoided with logical discourse, intellectual honesty, and polite conversation. But I'm also not retarded, which is odd for me to say because I generally consider myself to be, you know, anecdotally speaking, fairly retarded. Not that I'm actually disabled, just I do some stupid shit on occasion. Sometimes I do stupid shit that I know was stupid before I did it, and then it goes wrong, and I knew it would. So that's retarded. It just, I can identify that I am not perfect, and despite whatever level of intelligence I may hold, I am also prone to doing some stupid shit on occasion, as I assume we all are. So it's all tongue in cheek. These people are not tongue in cheek. These people are insane. So, you would assume any logical person of any kind of moral integrity would see the death of an innocent person who sought only to converse, regardless how you feel about the views he may have held. All he sought was to peacefully exchange ideas. That was met with violence. That's how these people work. Their ideas can't defend themselves because the truth needs no defense. The truth will always stand on its own strength. And whether people believe the truth or not does not change the fact that it is 100% the truth. It's how the truth works. See, only one thing can be accurate. Anything that convolutes or obfuscates or lies by omission, even if they contain a degree of accuracy, are not, in fact, the actual entire truth. So these people, their arguments hold no water. They have no truth. Their arguments are easily picked down and disassembled with simple logic and basic discourse. This enrages them. And the entitled, selfish sacks of human shit that they are cannot handle that. They just can't. Absolutely intolerable to them, apparently. So we've seen how they react to logic and discourse, and unfortunately, this is seemingly awoken something they probably don't realize they're getting themselves into. And again, I'm not advocating violence. I'm not suggesting anybody do anything to gain any form of retribution. I believe that the system of our country, for the most part, does work and should be trusted to do its job. From what I've seen today, just perusing through the internet, it does not appear that a lot of people share my sentiment. Uh, yeah, which you know, I can sit here and say I disagree with them, and that's not the way to solve something. But that doesn't that doesn't change anything. Very much the same. I can sit here and speak to the left, saying I disagree with what was done, and I don't think violence solved anything. In fact, it's likely only made the situation future worse. But people do what people do, and people are gonna do what people are gonna do. That's just human nature. But when it happens, much the usual, the people on the right, for the most part, will, well, at least hopefully, as they have, will call out the bad acting and you know disown these people and their ideologies. The left doesn't do that. No, from what The last 24 hours would show you not only do the left not disown bad actors, they celebrate them. And what's the takeaway from that? In my opinion, it's just who these people are. They've let their masks slip. These people crave violence. They crave to see people like Charlie, like countless other conservatives. They want you dead. That's what they want. So as always, I recommend everybody, keep your heads on a swivel and know your means of egress, and do the best you can to not let these lunatics turn you into another victim. Hopefully, enough people with half a brain wake up and something can begin to be put into motion to rectify the problems rapidly evolving around us. But I have a solid feeling we probably aren't going to see that. And some might argue this may have already been a tipping point that makes that peaceful outcome potentially unobtainable. I can't speak to that opinion. These are just things I've encountered scrolling through the mess that is I guess the social positioning on this happening. So we're gonna just watch some people who are better speakers than I am go through some of this stuff for us. We'll have some commentary to add along the way. Yeah, I guess let's just get into it then. Let's see, how big do I got? I got to resize this window. I'm sorry. Always such a pain to get this sized properly. Can I not like close that? We'll just do that. That works. So where do we want to start? Figure let's start somewhere short, concise, to the point.
Today, we're going to look at some of the interesting users on, you would never believe it, Blue Sky. That's right. And I don't know how this keeps happening, but yesterday, after Charlie Kirk was brutally murdered, he was shot in the throat, bled out on stage in front of everybody, including his own family and his children. The number of people in the games industry who decided to go on to social media, particularly Blue Sky. A lot of these people, you have to understand that many of these people have already been run off of Twitter because there's a level of discourse and negativity that they can't really deal with. So the only place that they can really exist is on effectively a reservation like Blue Sky, where their opinions are protected and they're allowed to be vitriolic and nobody's allowed to tell them that they're wrong. Well, that's why we're making this video. We're going to be looking at some of the different people that, after the death of Charlie Kirk, decided to, and I'm not really going to be going through, everybody is going to draw the line at a different place. Here's where I draw the line. I personally have a big problem with people that are celebrating him being killed. I don't have a big deal if somebody says I don't like him or I never liked him or something like that. But for the people that are celebrating for him being killed, advocating for future violence, and saying that it's a good thing, I think that's what crosses the line for me. And I think that's what crosses the line for any reasonable, normal person. And so,
Agreed. It's entirely fine to disagree with the ideas that somebody may hold. We're all entitled to opinions. Just You don't have to agree with everybody's opinion. That's fine. That's why polite discourse exists, is that people can discuss ideas, whether they agree or not. And despite achieving agreement at any point, walk away respectfully and go on with their lives. So I think that would be the point that most rational human beings would consider to be where we draw the line. Hey, Lima, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I don't know about you, but I agree for the most part with that sentiment. People are allowed to think whatever they want, and I wish them no ill will. I wish no bad things upon them. I wish them nothing but the best that they can make with the life they're given. And you'd expect most rational human beings to hold a sentiment, something similar, somewhere along those lines. Very much you do you, and let me do me. Hey, dweeb, no worries, man. Tonight's gonna be a weird one, anyways. It's gonna be a really long discussion about things that are wrong with this country, and at midnight, though, we will have a change of vibe. We'll be doing a movie review for Cam. Cam's dropping his Backrooms movie tonight at midnight, so we'll be reviewing that for him because, well, he wants us to review it, and he's a nice, friendly person who stops in and hangs out. So the least I can do is review his movie for him. But we'll get back into this because people are insane.
So anyway, we're going to go through a number of people, and the first thing I wanted to start out with today is that maybe you guys remember this from the beginning of the year.
I don't know if you guys can see my little cursor. I don't know if my cursor shows, but this is the sentiment they hold right here, top of that post. That's the sentiment they hold for you if you disagree with what they believe in. They have no interest in discourse. They have no interest in finding common ground. They have no interest in anything but that right there at the top. This is the left you're dealing with. They can use all the kind, polite words and facade masking they want. Sooner or later, the mask slips. Here we are. The mask has slipped.
It was a content, it was a big content year, I would say that. And people might have forgotten, but there is a person who decided to advocate for killing your local MAGA. This was a Blizzard employee. And I want to say that after the video that I made on him and a lot of other people made on him, this person lost their job and effectively has ruined their life. And I want nothing more than for the exact same thing to happen.
Excuse me, I need to give Miss Ray some water. She's dancing. All right, I am sorry about that. She is a very bougie dog, and she will only drink filtered water out of a bottle. So I have to attend her hand and foot. Let's get back to this.
To the people in this video too. So I hope that after you guys see these individuals and you see what they're advocating for, you'll be able to go out and tell their employer, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not comfortable funding a video game that is employing people that are advocating for the brutal murder of a person in front of their family. And
I guess I should clarify why we started here with this one. much as Gamergate has shown us, gamers are by far the largest collective of people with common ground. And while they may not all agree, they can agree that they share common ground and a love for something similar. And that is a beautiful way to open the door to broader discourse, because that shared common ground helps to cultivate an air of respect for one another, because you can see that the two of you are similar. You share, you can see yourself in one another. So I figure we'll start with gamers. Gamers, this is for you. These are the people who've been basically coming after your gaming experience too, because this is your Concord, this is your Marathon, this is your all these just shit excuses of games that latch on to sociological and political ideologies to mask the fact that their game just isn't good. And then they wear real world problems as a shield to shield the fact that they just made a shitty game. But they'll take one of these divisive topics to shoehorn it in. That way anyone who says the game is, well, just not a good game. You know, it's just not a fun game. It's buggy. It's broken. It's insert game complaint here. They can absolve all of that as an outspoken group of bigots review bombing, which, let's be fair, you can go read most of the review bombs, and generally the bulk of the people commenting negative things are talking about messed up, janky, missing, non-functional, etc., like actual game problems. So yeah, they just co-opt these sociological identity issues to sell you a cut rate product, and anyone who calls it a cut rate product, they can call a piece of shit and silence and write off as being bigoted or this or that or insert buzzword here. These people are what's wrong with the world. They just are. But they're still people. So this is not some call to violence. Not saying these people should be harmed. But much they love to do to people who disagree with them, you should definitely point out their insane, disgusting, horrifying, dehumanizing dialogue. A wooden bundle of bigots? No, B-Man, I would not say a wooden bundle of bigots, because that's a different word that ends in gets. And no, this isn't like that. This isn't a singular group thing, because again, I don't think that all leftists are insane, disgusting, non-human monsters, but clearly a lot of them are, and the ones who aren't don't really seem to care, which, to be fair, is, I guess, what I find most concerning. That's funny.
It's
Right-handed
absolutely
leftist.
insane, but it's also not surprising. And so anyway, we're going to go through some of these. Obviously, I put out a post about this before. This was yesterday. If you guys want to make a list, and this is something I'll go ahead and just contextualize it all.
But yeah, this one's gonna be a bit of a marathon today, be mad. So if you're here the whole time, good on you, bro. Because this one's gonna kind of suck.
At all. So there's several game developers that are liking posts that are people mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination. We'll look
Again, anybody mocking anyone who's been assassinated is, I mean, like, short of dictators abusing their own peoples, like, you get what I mean. Because this is a person who only sought to exchange ideas, have discussion, challenge the way people think so that people will think more. Oh, the horror.
at pretty much who these people are. We'll start off with this. These are people, Dennis. Let's look at this, and this is also on Blue Sky. I'm 6'5" and Vans, Blue Sky Social, sound effects associate at Bungie. So Bungie, you know the game that's trying to make Marathon. I guess they were too busy. Oh, he's doing sound effects, not visual effects.
Oh, gee, what are the odds of that? Marathon. We're 3 minutes into the video.
So maybe he actually has to do his job rather than just copy pasting something off of Twitter. But anyway, you've got somebody like this who's advocating for, and again, people might think that it's not a big deal. Oh, well, these people aren't making these statements themselves. These people aren't really saying anything that is that extreme. Here's the reason why it's a big problem. The reason why is because it creates an ecosystem and an environment where the actual extremism and the actual radical behavior is feeling comfortable. It feels comfortable in an environment where you have this blasé, passive acceptance of it, and you have people that are just basically.
Okay, a little side note. I think the funniest part about that is who exactly is shocked that that the left is guilty of everything they swear the right is guilty of, despite the fact that the right, the majority of the right, let's be real, there's always extremists. I will always say it. There are always extremists. Nobody's fucking talking about them. They're retarded. The rational people on the right disown the insane people on the right. We acknowledge that they are insane retards. The rational people on the left do not acknowledge that an ever growing portion of themselves, who are making themselves more and more public by the day, are insane retards. A great analogy here would be, you guys remember a few years back when the retard KKK chapters were like coming out and doing retard protests, all the KKK? Everybody laughed at them. The left laughed at them. The right laughed at them. Nobody is claiming these retards. Everybody, I kind of got something close. Be mad. Hold on. Let me let the button switch over. I don't know if I'm on the right page. I'm not. That one. I got this.
You stupid.
But yeah, Stimpy would be a good one. But yeah, so like I was saying, the KKK came out and they did their dumb little rallies, and everybody laughed at them. The left laughed at them. The right laughed at them. Nobody supported them. They were mocked savagely by everybody. And then they receded back into the dark little corner of whatever shithole they fucking reside in, and everyone went back to ignoring them because they're insane retards and they have nothing of value to contribute to society. So everybody just ignores them, lets them sit in their little corner in the dark while we all patiently wait for them to just expire naturally. Which is really the only thing we can do. They don't generally do anything violent. When they do something violent, they go to prison. That's the end for them, and everybody supports that. But for the most part, they just group up in their little circle jerks and be like, "Oh, I hate, 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 hate. Oh my god, I hate creamed." Like they're fucking retards. All right, let's not pretend that anybody on the right is celebrating the KKK or any of the extreme right retards. Granted, though, the problem with situations like just recently transpired is you make the things those crazy retards have been saying seem like they might have been right. And I'm not saying they are. This is just another extreme retard from one side or the other doing extreme retard things, and have to take 3 right. I mean, if we're talking like cardinal directions, well, I don't know. See, that's debatable at that point, BMAD. It all depends on to what degree is the right being taken. Because if you're only taking a 45-degree right, then you need to take 6 rights to make a solid left. Although one could argue that anything after 4 45-degree right could be arguably a left. And that would be anything from 4 to 8 45-degree rights taken. So then that becomes really mathematical and has to do with the angle of the dangle. That's a topic for another day.
Complicit
We'll save that one for the OnlyFans channel.
with it, but they're not openly saying it. They're just privately doing it, or they're just privately voicing their support as well. And, well, I guess in this case, it's not private anymore, is it? And so anyway, we have a associate producer at Bungie who is liking and promoting tweets that are celebrating the death of a person being shot in the neck in front of their family and bleeding out profusely on the stage in front of millions of people. And so good job, Bungie. Really good winners you've got here. I can't wait to play Marathon. I thought that my expectations for the game couldn't be lower, but somehow Dennis has managed to fulfill, or exceed those expectations, you could say. I've got another one also. Kelly, senior producer at Sucker Punch, amateur cosplay armor, D&D enjoyer, source of corgi pics, they and she. Okay, so we have also, and you're going to see this word, this term, Sucker Punch, a number of times. We're not talking about the action, but we are talking about the company. This is the company that makes the game, or that is making the game, Ghosts of Yotai. Ghosts of Yotai, and this is also important to keep in mind, is that the voice actress for the game, for the character itself, has gone multiple times on record making the most deranged, stupid comments like defunding the police. She's just your typical, like, libtard, insaniac, moron, retard, right? It's not really that complicated, but what it really indicates is that there's a culture in this company, and there's a culture in this environment where this type of radical, violent behavior and language is normalized. You have multiple people at the company that are all saying these things, and we're going to get to the other ones too. This is another person here also that works at the company, and so you can see right here, obviously this is them retweeting or posting something that they did with the game, and then right after that, I hope the shooter's name is Mario so that Luigi knows his bro got his back. And I've been noticed that Twitter has noticed me from I've been told that Twitter has noticed me from across the room. Well, we certainly have. We absolutely have. And I think that these kinds of comments are absolutely disgusting. This is a person that works at a massive game company, and they're openly advocating for on public platforms and promoting and celebrating the murder of a random person. This is disgusting. It's really disgusting. And in my opinion, I don't think that it should be tolerated. And that's the reason why I'm making this video. I think that everybody should try to message anybody that works at this company, anybody who, like any sort of PR, any management, anything like that. Let them know that you don't want to support a company that employs people that celebrate the murder of innocent people just for exchanging ideas. This is a disgusting, disgusting thing to do. And you can see also, and I think this is a systemic problem at the company itself, whenever you have three people, the voice actress and then these two other people that are also doing this, I think that it's very obvious that this company has been infected with the same kind of moral rot that many other video game companies have unfortunately been affected by. And so you have also Zibs, they, them, always a very good indicator of mental awareness and normality. A producer at Magic the Gathering. So this person works at, I'm assuming, Wizards of the Coast. And they're working at Magic the Gathering Arena. Previously also at, wow, what are the what are the odds of that? What a coincidence. And so what you've got here, this is, again, another person who is celebrating this type of violent behavior. And I think that, again, people need to make their voices known and make them heard that this is just simply not acceptable. This is not normal. This is not what average people want.
I think that's a pretty based take. I don't think anything there is extreme. Rational people want discourse, not insane, psycho bullshit, violent retards. We need to get back to pointing out retards, y'all. Like, simple as that. Point out your retards. I don't mean people with mental disabilities. I don't consider them retards. In fact, in my opinion, they're better than everybody else because they're playing life on fucking ultra hard and they're killing it. All right, we all over here on like easy mode and we struggling. So like, yeah, bro, mad props to them. They playing on hard and they're setting high scores and shit. So don't ever think that I'm like degrading people with mental disabilities. That is never the case. I have more respect for them than most normal people. Because again, they're playing on fucking ultra hard. Like, it just is what it is. I think they deserve way more props for the fact that they're doing it on hard. They're not less than us. They're more than us because they're winning on hard.
We don't want to have people that are openly making statements and calls to violence like this, or celebrating calls to violence or actual violence like this, making our products. It's disgusting. And I know that some people would maybe consider and say, well, this is something that could be a little bit like cancel culture. And I want to say that it absolutely is. 100% is. The fact is that these are the same types of people who would lie about you and make up things about you and try to destroy your career and destroy your reputation for disagreeing with them on something political. But now whenever it's happening to them, they're the victims. Well, if you want to be the victim, it's time to earn it. I think also, here's another thing, is that if you work at one of these companies and you have one of these individuals that works at your company, you do have a recourse to this, and that's calling and talking to HR. Because the fact is that HR does not operate in your best interest, and it doesn't operate in their best interest either. It operates in the best interest of the company. And when you have people that are making public statements and calls to violence and celebrating violence like that, they're creating a hostile and an unsafe work environment. And anybody who works in HR, anybody who works inside of any sort of corporate environment will tell you that that's something that just can't exist in a corporate environment. there's a reason why we have levels of decorum, and there are some levels of HR that make sense. And so if you work at one of these companies and you have a person like this doing it, make sure to talk to HR and let them know how uncomfortable you feel that there's a person who's working at your company who might want to advocate to have you killed because you disagree with them. Tell them that it makes you afraid to come into work. Tell them that, you don't know, maybe you're going to file a lawsuit. You feel unsafe at your workplace. And honestly, here's the important thing. You should feel unsafe, because these people would justify violence against anybody who disagrees with them. And just because you think you know them doesn't mean they wouldn't do the exact same thing to you. And this is them. This is the game that they're making right here. And you can see that they've made no statement about this. Now,
I just want to touch on his point that you may think you know these people, and he really is right. I have seen people I once held respect for celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. These are people who I've debated in the past about things like the morality of gun control and the mass shooting epidemics and everything of that nature. These are people who've long presented themselves as oh so benevolent and accepting and helpful, virtuous. It's all a fucking lie, y'all. It really fucking is. If given the opportunity, these people would take your life in a moment and justify your beliefs were dangerous, because that's all it takes to them. You have ideas that ideologically, factually, statistically can back themselves up and disprove their ideas. That's all it takes to them. In their mind, you're basically a valid target at that point. If they thought for even a moment that they could get away with it, I would put my money hands down that they would take the life of anyone they disagree with. The problem is most of them are still scared of repercussions. But as we're seeing now, that's kind of changing, y'all. And the tone in the media basically protects it. So they're just emboldening it. Yet they're conveniently shielded from any liability for what many would argue are open calls to violence and etc. So it's totally a double standard. But again, I'll reiterate, I'm not advocating for violence against the retards on the left. I'm just saying, if you have to be around them, yeah, watch the fuck out for them. That they're unpredictable, they're clearly violent, and yeah, do your best to not let them make you a victim.
let me ask you a very simple question. If these people made a degrading comment towards the trans community, for example, or towards the black community, for example, do you think Sucker Punch would have immediately fired them and made a statement? I think so, absolutely. But for some reason, these people are protected. And the reason why they're protected is because there's a lot of other ones at the company that feel the exact same way that they do. That's the only logical reason that I have. And I think that at a certain point, Sony or somebody needs to step in. Whoever owns this company needs to step in and root out this disease before it kills the entire company, because I do think that it will have a tremendously negative effect on the game. And you can see this right here. This is a post that Sony made. I guess it was a couple of days ago about Ghosts of Yotai, and you can see 1,000 comments on this. Your senior dev at Sucker Punch is a violent leftist, etc. And these are more comments here. Never let up the pressure. Never, ever, ever do that. Keep this pressure up until these people lose their jobs. And then after they lose their jobs, then take a break, relax, pat yourself on the back, wait for them to get another one, and then do it again. And that's the only way that you should treat these animals. And that's exactly what they are. You shouldn't view them as people. You shouldn't view them as a
I mean, arguably, I disagree with that. We shouldn't be dehumanizing anybody. You let them do that themselves. But people are people. Some of them are just trash people. You gotta just know who the trash people are. That's why freedom of speech is a thing. You're free to say whatever you want. And then people can identify that you're a trash person and choose to not be around people like you. At no point does any of this justify open acts of violence against anybody. But the point I'm kind of getting at here is people who once sounded quite rational are starting to sound a lot more irrational. And in my opinion, that's a really bad tone shift. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I kind of just like to, vibe, do my own thing, and stay way the fuck out in the middle of the woods where people-y shit doesn't affect me. But I can still tell the tone. I can still read the tone. The tone is taken a very dramatic and unsettling shift. Uh, yeah, because now people who used to be rational, amicable, open to conversation, they seem to be far less so. I think I've seen more aggressive verbiage in the last 24 hours than I think I ever have. And I remember 9/11 and the internet culture immediately preceding it. Americans making cries like nuke them till they glow and shoot them in the dark. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all. That all was seemed a lot more tongue in cheek and rhetoric. The tone now is more just heavy and cold. So I don't know. In my opinion, I'm worried. This may just be the start of a lot worse. Which hopefully it's not. I do very much hope that it's not. I've seen things that state otherwise. They claim to have found the shooter's weapon and ammunition scribed with trans ideological verbiage. And supposedly, one of these videos I've got queued up in this mess, they claim to know the name of the person. Now, the validity of that, who knows? I'm more just here to more talk about the vibe. I mean, I have no connections to any kind of whatever lines of information short of the same thing everyone else has available to them, which so all of this is taken with a grain of salt. I guess I'm more kind of just glossing through the fact that this may be
A
more of a
person
problem.
with a political
This may be more of a catalyzing situation than most people believe, because the rhetoric has gone again very very like weird aggressive, not like the usual open whatever, like clearly internet rhetoric. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting time frame here. My main takeaway is like people need to be kinder, but at the same time, what was it that Winston Churchill said? I think it was Winston Churchill. I could be totally misquoting this, but what was it? Walk gently, but carry a big stick, or something like that. Again, I could be totally misattributing that to Winston Churchill. I'm not 100% certain on who said it. I just more remember it. I'm really bad with names. I always struggled in history because the names, they just, you show me pictures of people, sharp. Names, jumbled mess in my head. My point is more, yeah, this may just get well, then you get my drift. I advocate for no violence against anybody, but clearly things are heating up. So people should be more aware of what's going on around them, is, I guess, my main takeaway from this. Because, yeah, this is, just across a few videos, this is a couple hour marathon, and it's the celebrating that I think I find the most concerning. Like the people on the right and their general fuck around, find out, blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's like baseline. That's baseline rhetoric. Yeah, but there are a few of them in there that I don't know. It doesn't. It's not the baseline rhetoric. It's like more passive aggressive. I don't know. Some of them read like a crazy girlfriend, where like the words she's saying mean one thing, but in the back of your mind, like you just fucking know that the words are not properly conveying whatever the fuck you've gotten yourself into, because she's a crazy girlfriend. I don't know if you've ever had a crazy girlfriend. I've had a couple of them. They can be a bit crazy. It just people are just crazy. It is what it is. You don't hate them. Doesn't justify hate. You just you don't fuck with crazy. So you remove yourself from it peacefully, and then they go totally crazy.
Political disagreement from you. These are violent animals that are trying to destroy the last good thing that we have, which is the open ideas of political discourse. And they're celebrating murdering people for doing it. And as soon as that starts happening, I don't want to know what's next. And the worst thing is that I already do. And I think you do too. And so anyway, we've got more of these. Here's Recognition is not enough for me. I hope he tanks the studio. And cowards keep quiet. The studio deserves to go under. I understand why a lot of people at these companies don't speak up, which is why I suggest that.
Right. This is just the first video, and this is mainly I figured I'd open heavy on the gamer side, because as Gamergate showed us in the recent little spat with Visa and MasterCard, gamers are a very large, and although often much disagreeing amongst each other, have common ground and a certain degree of respect for one another. I think they're a great example of how differing ideas can coexist when people are allowed to freely speak. Yes, you've got some fucking insane retards. You're always going to have them. That's just part of humanity. But the long and short is, on the whole, most gamers, despite disagreeing on a slew of topics, hold a certain degree of respect for each other, and that degree of respect makes them far more open to intellectual discourse and discussion, even about topics they may not agree on. and they can come to the end of a discussion having not changed their views and go about their day without fucking hating the other person or desiring to see them dead. I mean, maybe they want to dunk on them in the video game because again, we're talking about gamers, but person to person outside the game, they have common ground. They have a certain degree of respect for each other despite disagreeing views, and they're a great example of, as weird as it is to say, gamers are a great example of how people should be able to interact. You should be able to say fucking stupid, retarded, fucked up shit to each other in the course of discussing things without getting aggressive and violent. Like, because, like, let's be real here, gamers are all for butting heads, but when it comes to something that is negatively effective to gamers as a whole, gamers stand together regardless of whatever it is that divides them on a normal day. And I think more people could take a fucking note from that page. It's fine to disagree with each other, have arguments, have heated arguments. But at the end of the day, like, you're dealing with another person. There's still a person. But I kind of feel like the left has lost the plot on that one. But I mean, I guess only time will tell what will come of all of this. But I'll keep trying to push through this, and this will further show that the tone has gotten sketch, bro. The tone has gotten sketch.
If you work at one of these companies, please make sure to go to HR. Go to HR and file these complaints legitimately with them. There are certain legal things that they have to do, and in
But like, we got to start calling out our retards on all sides. I'm not making this a this side or that side thing. We got to start calling out the retards. Again, I don't mean mentally disabled people. I mean insane retards on both sides, all sides of the political spectrum. Insane retards need to be pointed out so that rational people can know to avoid insane retards. So that insane retards can't easily harm rational people on any side of the political spectrum. Left, right, center, up, down, triangle, square, moose, cat, dog. Like, I don't know how the fuck to make that part any clearer for anybody. This is not a fucking partisan thing. This is literally a basic fucking humanity thing. We gotta start calling out the insane retards. Just, it is what it is. They're insane. They're retarded. Call them out.
some cases, these people will pretty much lose their job for sure if enough people are discussing it. And you have also some people make comments like this. It's wild how the woke right, like Asmongold, Grums and others, showing themselves to be what they hate, authoritarian freaks that want to censor and silence anybody they despise. Yeah, I do. I do. I think that.
See, I actually disagree with the censoring and the silencing of them. I just believe when they say insane retard shit, point it the fuck out. Let the rest of civilized society know that that person has a proclivity to be an insane retard. Again, leftist insane retard, rightist insane retard, fucking moose insane retard. Point out the insane retard.
Anybody who's advocating for killing people over speech like this should be censored. Absolutely. And this is just normal. Absolutely. I don't. there's this trick that a lot of people like this like to play, which is they try to use your own language and use your own morality against you. These people don't care about freedom of speech. They don't care about censorship. They don't care about any of that. They're simply trying to weaponize your values and use them against you in order for them to fulfill their own goals. And so every time that they try to make an appeal to your own values, you should ask yourself, do they hold these values? And if the answer is no, then you shouldn't take it seriously. Because this person is simply trying to use your values to subvert you and take advantage of you and to push their own agenda and to hurt you. And so never listen to this, never play into this game, never even acknowledge that that there's any validity to it at all. These people don't care about freedom of speech. The only time they bring it up is whenever they're trying to co-opt the person who does care about freedom of speech and make that person act against their own best interest. But anyway, we've got also, this is me, as well as put out the call for finding game devs mocking, and there's another one here. This is the voice actor for Diluc in Genshin Impact. I hope they receive the same care that the average American citizen would get in the same situation. Really? So they're just going to fall down and die. Somebody gets shot in the neck like that with their blood like spurting out. There's no health care. You're not coming back from that, at least not anytime soon with the medical care that we have now. And so anyway, at least he came out, at least he goes out doing what he loved, being a bigot. Yeah, of course you have more comments like this, more people like this. And if True Police Go, if it's permanent, every post you make goes out to the public firehouse, captured by someone somewhere. The delete button doesn't do what you think it does. And so anyway, we have a lot of people, obviously, that are starting to say stuff, live by something. So she's obviously trying to make a statement of live by the sword, die by the sword. This is what, and I think that this is a very revealing statement, and I think this is going to be the last comment that I'm going to look at here, is that this statement's actually extremely revealing, because what it's saying is that from her perspective, living by the sword is the same as being killed. Speaking out and being able to, express your opinion on certain things should be met with the equivalence of deadly force. And that's really what these people want. They want to bully, push, fight, and if it comes down to it, kill you if you disagree with them. And that's why whenever somebody does do something insane like this, all of these people tried to do mental gymnastics about why it was somehow justified, normalized, okay, acceptable, or something one way or another. The fact is that, live by the debate, die by a gunshot wound in the throat. No, I don't really think that makes a lot of sense, does it? But it doesn't sound as good as these, vapid, Yas Queen comments that people like her make on Blue Sky that have absolutely no pushback because they're on their own protected reservation away from anybody whose opinions could be different than their own. And that's the reason, and also those are the only people that are still left on the platform. And soon, if with enough effort and enough work, we can have enough of these people removed from our media, and removed from our public discourse, and removed from any sort of positions of power where they can exercise their completely maladjusted, totally deranged viewpoints and worldview. And so anyway, I want to let you know that this is definitely not the only amount of them that there are. I'm sure there's plenty more. And so if you want to express and show any of these other people and you want to post one of their comments or anything like that, I would recommend anybody.
All right, he basically just continues on to drop his group where people can aggregate more of these people, because we gotta start calling out the retards, y'all. We gotta start calling out the retards. Where is it? This one? Oh, I think it's this one. That was a bit loud. I don't know the validity of Steven Crowder's information, but as I can recall, he tends to be fairly solid. He provides receipts every time he's been accused of being a liar or a fraudster or anything of that nature. He's always taken it to court. He's won all of those court cases. And again, he usually comes solid with receipts. There you go. The receipts provided on his website. So I'd say in my odds, the validity of the information would be better than 50-50. So we're going to see what he has to say. And again, always take everything with a grain of salt. This is all for analysis and interpretation and discussion.
Hey, not glad at all to be with you under these circumstances. I don't think anyone is. There's no good way to cover this. There's no good way to handle this. And
this is the tone I'm talking about. This is a man who usually was loud and vocal and fairly the standard baseline, openly, mildly confrontational. I mean, confrontational, but not aggressively confrontational, but line in the sand confrontational. This vibe seems to be the resounding vibe, which is disconcerting. To see a dramatic shift in the tone of so many is strange. But we'll see here.
I think we have to be here anyway. And this is heartbreaking for everyone. I'm going to try and find the right words here today. Here's what I ask for. I ask for grace all around because emotions are high for everyone and people sometimes are misinterpreted. Let's not try and score any points. There are children who don't have a father. The Kirk family who's affected forever. It's not a game. The left is not playing games. And neither should you. And right now, we're very rare, for a very rare occasion, we're streaming live wide to YouTube. And this is going to be very short-lived. If you are on YouTube, the whole reason for Rumble is days like today. Head on over. Because the kinds of things that I'm going to be saying probably get the channel nuked on YouTube. And let me be really clear here. I am not advocating, this is an inflection point, I am not advocating for violence, wanton violence against the left. I'm not advocating for a civil war. I'm not advocating for anything that should be a violation of big tech's policy that forbids you from fighting back, but it's going to get really fucking close. That's where I am. I hope I made myself clear. Let me just start with this. This morning, and you've seen this now, our undercover team who did some work here, the best in the world, I'll just say Jay, codename Jay, who got this morning was a leak from someone who was a longtime viewer of the show and works under the DOJ. And so we released this, and now the media, the rest of the media is confirming it. There was a briefing confirming it. I want to read this to you because there's a lot of misinformation going around. On September 10th, 2025, this comes from our source, at approximately 12:24 p.m., conservative political influencer Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at the Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Let me make sure I get, okay. This is the stuff that you know. Mr. Kirk was... Multiple SLC 1 and 3 agents responded immediately. The suspect fired one shot from an elevated position on a rooftop in an adjacent building on the campus, and surveillance video shows the suspect jumping off and fleeing the area on foot. ATF and other law enforcement located an older model imported Mauser 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle.
Mauser. And if it was 30-06, it was likely a converted Mauser, because the majority of Mausers in America are World War II German surplus Mausers, and, well, those just generally aren't in 30-06. They're common in a 7.92, or often referred to 8mm Mauser, and they're common in 7mm, which was an early chambering, but also very common on the batches sent to Argentina, which are now often called Argentinian Mausers. And the majority of 30-06 Mausers, as I'm aware from what I know about the firearms industry, the majority of those are converted. They were either brought back from the war or bought up cheap in the mass surplus selling after World War II, all the way up into modern days. You can still get old World War II surplus Mausers. They've had their original insignia stampings and things defaced off of them, and they're commonly resold in the public market now. But again, these don't come in 30-06. They come in other chamberings. Usually the 30-06 models are, somebody took one of those surplus rifles and they had a gunsmith converted over to be a 30-06. So on that note, there's oddly a strange potentiality for that firearm to have potentially a hefty little paper trail, because made in another country, imported, documented at importation, as I understand of the ATF importation processes, assigned a serial number, starting its travel of the life of a gun and the paperwork transfers of it. Granted, it could have been transferred any number of times in states that do not have such requirements, and so it'll be interesting to see what they deduce from that, if anything. But I did see that the FBI basically talked about that they're going to strip the gun down, looking for potentially identifying markings and things of that nature, which I assume is due to the fact that it is, like I expect, a stateside converted firearm, and could potentially have a dramatic pile of trackable exchanging paperwork in its in ATF record, depending on what ATF keeps in terms of record. That depends if they're actually abiding by the law or not abiding by the law. But we'll see. From the video, it looked like a fairly young person. I'm interested in the firearm analysis side of this.
Wrapped in a towel in a wooded area near the campus. The location of the firearm appears to match the suspect's route of travel. The spent cartridge was still chambered in addition to 3 unspent rounds at the top-fed magazine. All cartridges have engraved wording on them, expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology.
Okay, I don't take that to actually mean anything, because anybody could inscribe whatever they want on something Well, I saw a video. I think it was on Twitter, which they claim was like the suspect that they appeared to be young. I think it's actually that right down there, which I don't know. I doesn't the picture doesn't necessarily mean a lot to me. You know what I mean? Showing a picture of a person just like walking, the person doesn't have a gun. I'm sorry, but like that's the hey dweeb, and not much going on. Just talking about the insanity that's going on, and firearms science. At least this last little bit, I was talking about firearms science. I like firearms science. I'm sorry, guys. Miss Ray, do you need more bottled water? Excuse me. My dog demands bottled water. All right, my apologies. Whew. Changed your name, Cloud Fungus. Kind of a cool name, not gonna lie.
An emergency trace has been submitted. An ATF SLC is working leads generated by the trace. The firearm and ammunition have been taken by the FBI, DNA analysis, and fingerprint impressions. Upon completion of forensics, the firearm will be disassembled for additional importer information. Multiple people of interest have...
I feel like you need some capital letters in there, though, man. You gotta like emphasize yourself. Don't sell yourself short. Stay modest in your heart, but brand yourself boldly.
having contacted or detained because of eyewitnesses' testimony and review of video footage. The primary suspect is yet to be identified. ATF is assisting the investigation with multiple other, you know the rest. Engraved with trans and anti-fascist, Antifa ideology. I know yesterday we all thought it, we all prayed and hoped.
Again, I don't find the engraving to be wholly indicative of anything. Again, anybody can write anything on anything, and but the people celebrating really don't lend any credence to giving the benefit of the doubt. Call out your retards, y'all. I'm just gonna keep saying it. You need to call out your retards.
Hoped.
And I understand many people on the left would argue that this man here, Crowder, is a retard who should be called out. But I don't think I've ever seen him advocate wanton violence on anybody. And I've only ever seen him advocate the use of violence in self-defense. Exactly. That's what I find so just appalling about all of this is how could any rational person celebrate the murder of a person who only like spoke and like it's not like the man was a person of political power and stripping rights. Like he literally just went places, talked to college age kids, which to be fair, isn't that what college is supposed to be? A place for young adults to encounter ideas that are different from the small collective they were raised in potentially and engage those potentially differing views in a expected to be mostly safe and like intellectual manner. That's as I understood when I went to college. That's what I understood to be the main takeaway there was that lots of people have different views than you, but you go through the same struggle as them in classes. You work with them towards common goals. You build the understanding that you don't have to agree with a person. They're still a person, and short of insane retards, most people can find common ground, work towards common goals, and should be open to discussion about any and all topics because well that's how like you make find common ground, make compromise, all of that. That's how you avoid violence is by mulling ideas with words. You discuss ideas with words. You don't resort to verbal attacks and the fallacious arguments that are rampantly abound. As I understood college, it was supposed to be learning intellectual honesty. I don't know if that's the case anymore.
Evil, senseless, enabled, and abetted. People say, who could have seen this coming? Teacher.
I mean, honestly, it's not even a who could have seen this coming. They've kind of been openly saying it was coming. I try to keep a few lines in the water and watch the current state of the world around me because, well, I still have to live in the fucking thing, right? So it's good to know what's going on around me. I may not get out very often, at least not out of the woods here, but still good to know what's going on out there. So I keep my ear to the ground and yeah, the tone has changed, that's for sure. So I'm kind of glad to be out here in the woods where I can remain out here in the woods and let civilized society iron itself out. But it's a great seat in terms of content because I can watch from afar, remain for the most part unbiased. I know I have biases, Hey Cam, what's up? We're watching politics and the insanity that is human society in America.
Everyone? Everyone who was paying attention? Before we open this in prayer, I want to thank the undercover unit who did this, and I hope they catch the bastard. And I hope it hurts. I hope it hurts. I hope it's unpleasant. Because Charlie Kirk and his family did not deserve at all what he got. But whoever this person is deserves it to hurt. And whoever pops their head up and even attempts any act of violence, not even taking a shot. I'm not advocating that you take violence into your own hands. Let me be clear. I am advocating now, going forward, hair-trigger defense. Because we, and Charlie that day, make no mistake, was hunted. We are being hunted. This is terrorism. And I don't want to hear about both sides. Charlie Kirk's death was the direct result of leftist terrorism in America. Let me make that case. There are only a couple of people who've been in that chair, surrounded on campus. I know what it's like. I've had the assaults come. I'm just speaking from experience. I've lived that nightmare over 100 times in my life. Happens after the first 1, 2, or 3 death threats or assaults.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. You don't even have to be at the level of these guys, public figures, actually like challenging these fucked up ideas. You can basically just engage any one of them in a comment thread, like anywhere, and you'll get death threats within the day. It's truly remarkable. I mean, again, I don't generally worry about that shit because, like, I live way the fuck out in the boondocks. So, I don't really expect that anybody would come out here. Most people turn around when they start to hear the banjos in the woods.
Charlie had to live through too. And he had to live through that while the media that now pretends like they had respect for him called him a Nazi.
In my opinion, if you think you hate the media, you don't hate the media enough. Question all media, take everything with a grain of salt. Anything that tells you that this is exactly what something is, always be open to the possibility that that may not be right. And it may not be maliciously incorrect. There's, people are humans. They can be just incorrect. It happened. Not everything is malicious. Don't get me wrong, some things are. Not like discrediting things that are malicious as being not malicious. I understand, like things can be malicious, but that's why you should have critical thinking. You should listen to things of all sides and make your own judgment. I don't know how to impress that idea enough on people. Everything you will encounter that talks about something has a bias. Understand that it has a bias, and it's to a certain degree trying to make you think something. That's the whole goal. You need to ingest things from all sides because that gives you information from both sides, and you understand that both of those sides have their own biases. Then you can take all of that information and the awareness of said biases and form your own opinion.
And now they want to say, hey, let's cool temperatures. Hey, let's simmer this down. Okay? I will when you bring Charlie back. I will when you unpropagandize every single person who you made to believe that Charlie and all of us are Nazis and committing a genocide and racist and sexist. Let me ask you this. If a real Nazi, if a real genocidal Hitler was sitting there out in the open, if you believed it, if you really believed it, you thought that person was going to kill 6 million Jews, would you take the shot? Now add mental illness and fucking hormones. Yeah, we'll put that genie back in the bottle. You first. Why is it we're always asked? Why is it incumbent upon us to cool temperatures, and we're the only ones getting shot, getting hit with bike locks, getting rocks in the head, getting ice picks? You've lived through it with me. It's terrorism. You know what these people want? Charlie Kirk's death is the result of leftist terrorism in America, because they made this really clear. Hey, Charlie. Hey, well, it could be Ben Shapiro. Could be me. Could be any one of you. Hey,
I know.
I
know, Cam. I actually, somewhere in this stream earlier, there was a shout out about it that at midnight, we'll be watching your back rooms video. Yeah, because you're awesome and you hang out, and you wanted us to go through it and do a reaction. So, like, got you.
Want to impact the country? Do you want to change minds? Do you want to affect people's hearts and minds? How much do you want it more than your children to have a father? That's the message. But you let cooler heads prevail. And you know why this source gave this to us? Do you know why? This person under the ATF? They were rightfully concerned that it may be buried. And I hope you appreciate the world that you live in that's lesser with someone like Charlie Kirk gone.
Oh my God. Bro, I don't think I'm going to be able to unhear that now. Oh, let's see what Ron's got to say.
But before this place, and before people like Charlie, before that, there was an era where, my God, you had to rely on the people. CNN, Fox News.
You're totally right, bro. He sounds like Ron, and I never noticed it, but like now I hear it, and I'm not gonna be able to unhear it. He's gonna always sound like Ron to me now.
And if they chose not to cover this, you would never know. Hey, maybe someone else would have covered this. Maybe the Wall Street Journal would tell you this was clearly what seems to be a radical trans ideologue who committed terrorism and assassination.
Ron is a good character.
Maybe
he can be a little annoying sometimes because he's so soft.
If it hadn't already gotten out. Nashville Manifesto. DOJ prosecuting Trump. Jay Varma, COVID architect, lockdown that they didn't respect themselves. Maybe it would have been like that. You think none of these outlets had it? This source was afraid that it would be same old, and that Charlie Kirk's death would be in vain. Fight like hell takes on a whole new meaning now. Just like people have said, they're not after Trump, they're after you, he's in the way. The same can be said for Charlie Kirk. The same can be said for anyone. Anyone who goes out and risks life and limb to express a political opinion, and the other side acts with impunity. They act with impunity. Presidents, of course, both sides. Highest profile person on earth. Show me the last time, let alone multiple times, that a liberal commentator was murdered and assaulted.
I mean, I've got a better question. Show me the last time that people on the right celebrated something like that. I think that'd be my question.
Because our side doesn't do that. And you shouldn't do that. But you should have no tolerance. It's real life out there. It's real life out there, guys. And in the real world, there are psychos. Or as the left refers to them, useful pawns. Useful pawns. And if anyone else out there, by the way, has any more information, because aside from prayers and heartbreak and mourning for Charlie Kirk and his family, what do we do going forward? I'm going to do the only thing that I know how to do. That's fight back. That's try and shine a light on truth. And you guys have helped. You guys have changed the country. People like Charlie have inspired you to change the country. People doing things that weren't being done. So please, if you see anything else, if you know anything, send your information to lwctips@protonmail.com, just like this person will. Protect our sources with our life, and boy, do we mean that literally. Because every one of us in this position, every one of us knows that it's a possibility. Guarantee you, Charlie knew that. Lived with it and did it anyway. Gerald, if you can, I think I already said a lot, but I know is to pray for us to have the right words of wisdom and insight. And I guess I spoke outside of the prayer umbrella, so hopefully I don't spontaneously combust. But
I think you'll be okay. But really quickly, I know a lot of people have been saying they don't pray often, but they have been kind of led to pray now. I think that's a great response to this, and prayer is simple, so we're just going to pray real quick.
All right.
So, Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to come here and to be before you and to live in this wonderful and great country, but there are days like this where we just don't know what to say. We don't know what to pray. We don't really have words to adequately express kind of how we're feeling, Father, but we know that you understand. We know that you experienced all the emotions that are possible for us, and so we just pray that you would be with everybody affected by this. First and foremost, the members of Charlie's family, everybody close to him, the millions of people that he touched and touched their lives around this country that woke up feeling this emptiness inside of them, Lord, that really doesn't have a whole lot of comparison in our lifetimes, Lord. We just need you. We need you to be with every single person in whatever way you do it, Lord, because we don't know, we don't understand how you do it, but you give us peace that goes beyond understanding. And Lord, I pray that everybody would understand that Charlie is in your presence now. As much sadness as there is here for those of us left behind, Charlie's message was to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and to have salvation through that. And I pray that that's what people turn to now. So as we talk about this and every other subject we cover, Lord, I pray that we do it well, that we would do it accurately, and that we would honor you with it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, we're gonna move on from this one. Not trying to push whatever religious beliefs on anybody. I don't know. I just I felt like let them do their thing. Charlie was a devout Christian, and something about cutting that off felt disrespectful. And now we're gonna delve slowly into the furthermore insane. And then I guess at the end we've got potentially a name. Now we're gonna watch a deranged YouTuber or VTuber. Actually, no, we're gonna watch the more rational VTuber first.
Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood
Holy
or
fuck.
had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and
Yeah, be YouTuber, whatever you call them. I don't know. I'm not exactly up to date on all the lingo. But yeah, I like to list the information from a wide swath of people. As well, whatever this is, little animated person thing. I don't know. I try to garner information from lots of different sources, but I've only got so much time to cover so much before your video comes out, so I keep moving.
And admired by all, especially me. And now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you.
I'm
And we
not
pray
really
in Jesus.
interested in the president's tweets.
Again, like I said, like regardless of if you agree with him or
Obviously, we all know that the president had respect for Charlie Kirk. That's not really relevant to our topic here. I think what we're looking for is more towards this point.
the one thing we should remember though, right, is that what he stood for, right, which was having like peaceful debate and stuff like that. So
Exactly.
obviously the people that did this need to be brought to justice. But let's not forget what he stood for, you know? Oh wow, that was fast. Kaizen already came out with a tweet.
That's what I'm saying. You don't meet violence with retribution violence. Violence is only acceptable in defense of yourself. But you need to be aware that these people are insane retards.
Let's take a look at what he had to say.
Charlie Kirk just got shot.
That is super loud.
America, we gotta heal. We can't keep doing this.
I mean, it is and it isn't. Like, you fight to defend yourself. You don't does that make like you fight to defend yourself from an immediate threat, not an idea. You fight ideas with ideas. You know what I mean? If someone tries to attack you, then by all means, fight like you're the third monkey to Noah's Ark and brother, it just started to rain. If someone is trying to harm you or take your life, you should fight like a rabid animal and do what you gotta do. I mean, you try to not even let things get to that point. But yeah, if you're in danger, you should, like, immediate danger, absolutely everybody should fight like hell to stay alive.
We can't keep doing this thing where we demonize people for having different beliefs, where we try to cancel and convict and kill people for saying what they think is the truth, even if we disagree with it. Where the degree to which we're willing to uphold our principles is dependent on our political or racial or gender or community preferences. We can't keep doing this. Charlie was shot because he's honest and people listen to him. Even if you believe he was wrong about every single thing that ever left that man's mouth, he was shot because he's honest.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, we became so arrogant, so convinced of our own righteousness, that we have people in this country who believe that when someone says something we disagree with, it's right to kill them.
That's That's just the insanity of the left. The left, the people who words are violence, that they say this so that they can justify actual violence against words. That's what I mean. They need to start calling out their insane retards. Just like the right calls out its insane retards that are actually insane retards. Like we all fucking disown and mock the KKK, even though they claim they're right, whatever. The majority of the right laughs at those idiots and calls them idiots and lets them recede back to their little dark corner where we all hope they'll eventually expire of natural causes at whatever age. We don't wish death on them. We just wish for them to mind their business over there and live their life. Fucking over there where it's not affecting anybody. If they try to affect people, everybody will come back out and laugh at them like we all did when they did their lame little protest and everybody mocks the KKK and then they ran off back to their dumb little hole to hide. Everyone is allowed to have their own ideas, even if those ideas are generally disagreed upon and arguably retarded.
We can't keep doing this. And whoever shot him was trying to make a political statement. This
Obviously.
is terrorism.
Obviously.
This is using terror to accomplish a political end. And I don't think anyone who's committed to honesty and decency should be quiet. Because we need to keep saying the truth. That's the only way. Because we've become so divided and so
the thing that bothers me so much about this is you have the left and like the woke people, right? Constantly saying Hitler this, Hitler that, Nazi this, Nazi that, right? But this kind of shit is how you actually do get a second coming of Hitler. If it happens, it's going to be them that caused it. Which is the irony. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
polarized and so focused on what's going on in our minds that we don't
This is more of what I'm talking about of the dramatic tone shift.
see what's going on in reality. We're canceling family members, excommunicating people that we know over the opinions
Thank you, Iron
of
Tiger.
over our opinions of people that none of us actually know. We can't keep doing this. We gotta heal. And it takes all good people with clear minds and sound hearts to do it. To say no matter what, violence is never the answer.
Yeah, that's the temptation. The temptation is to go like full animal, right? I mean, that's a temptation when things like this happen.
Ever.
Yeah. So there was actually a pretty good post by Asmongold. Over here, and
I can't.
the bald king says, anyone surprised at what happens to Charlie Kirk hasn't been paying attention. Go anywhere, Reddit, Twitter, etc., and you'll find thousands of unhinged direct calls to violence over politics. Until it's addressed for what it is, things like this will continue to happen. And that's true.
Asmongold was the first video we watched.
So what needs to happen is these people need to be held accountable for what they're saying. I'm not saying violently, but we can't just keep letting people just kind of say radical stuff that's clearly illegal, right? And there's plenty of it. Let me. You have the persistence who says, you Scott Pressler over there, who was instrumental in like Trump winning. If you let me over here, didn't respond with violence. I haven't witnessed this level.
I mean, yeah, it is, but at the same time, it it just that's what people that's people, man. This idea that the item itself is somehow responsible is delusional retardation. Like that young Ukrainian lady on the train. She was killed. There wasn't a gun. People can kill people. What they use to do so is awesome. It's awesome. But yeah, but like people have the capacity to kill people. Yeah, the what's her name? Irina Zarutska. Uh, this girl here.
So you want to be a software engineer?
No, I don't
Go
want to
to
be a
the
software
cartel.
engineer.
Make
But yeah, the point being, people, bro. There's a problem with people. Because there are hundreds of
WCNC Plus.
there are hundreds of things that you encounter in your everyday life that are ample a tool to take another human being's life. Human beings are not. They really are, bro. And like that's what I'm getting at. Okay, this does not even have a picture of the young lady in it. Oh my god. Okay, we'll do it this way. Hold on. Pause that. Open a new tab. Arena Zarutska. Oh, this whole. I don't want to sign into Facebook. I just want to see this short part of the video. Miss Ray, what's wrong? Oh my god, I don't. This Ukrainian refugee who was stabbed on a train for I don't know exactly what reason, but that man there uh, pulls out a knife, stabs her in the neck. I don't know, once, multiple times. I don't really want to watch the video and give such horrific actions any more publicity than they've already gotten. Long and short, he stabs her in the neck. She bleeds to death on the train, and it's truly horrifying. So the point in that is, realistically, just looking at the size difference between the two of them, he didn't even need the knife. He could have just taken her life with his hands. So that's why I'll always be an advocate for firearms, because you could eliminate every weapon that exists in humanity, and that man could kill that woman with his bare hand. That woman could never in a million years hope to do anything to defend herself against a person of that size in a physical altercation. And the firearm is the great equalizer. If she had known what was happening and had been armed, she would be in a situation where she could actually do something and stop a threat. So I personally am not anti-firearm. I'm pro-firearm because they are the equalizer. I mean, killing anybody is not cool, in my personal opinion. Like, unless they're trying to kill you, like that I'll always make that exception. Like, if a person is trying to kill you, then, like I always say, fight like you're the third monkey to Noah's Ark, and brother, it just started raining. If someone's trying to take your life, you do whatever you have to make sure that you don't just go easy into that night. You fight like hell, because life is precious. People, even though they can be dumb, Human lives are precious and deserve to be, you know, not just frivolously taken and dumb shit like we have going on, because nobody wants to call out the insane retard.
That's clearly illegal, right? And there's plenty of emoji, dude. Dude, these people are sick. Like, their souls are ugly.
And this is what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
That these
exactly.
people are insane.
That's why this is so fucked up.
And they don't
You will
call it
never
out.
live in a society where you have an unarmed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death, Kirk said. And then you've got, like, you know the quote from Charlie Kirk over here. That's nonsense, it's drivel, but I think it's worth it. And you have Dalian over here. It's awesome that he could give his life for something he believed in so fervently, like with a heart emoji, dude. Dude, these people are sick. Like, their souls are ugly. Their souls are depraved.
And this is why the left is losing. They lose more ground every day because even the people on the left are losing faith in seeing that what they've been supporting is poison. It's societal poison. So it's wild times we be in. That's why I live out in nowhere, and I'm glad to.
And ugly. It's actually disgusting. I don't even know what to say anymore. I saw the video and it looks like he'll need more than thoughts and prayers. Well, us Americans have to accept this because it's what we would have what he would have wanted. So we've had the Second Amendment for like a long time in America, and this isn't that common. In fact, a lot of
I mean, realistically, I don't think race is really relevant. There's fucked up people of all race, color, creed. You just need to start calling them what they are: insane retards. They come in all shapes and sizes.
one thing that they try to keep you from understanding is that guns actually prevent a lot of deaths as well. This is like ridiculous. Oh no, anyway, I just made some amazing ramen. Should have protected his God-given life. Sucks to be pro-life. You were in the army, right? Are gushing neck wounds usually good? Anyways, yes, they're very good, especially when they pass through the spinal column. Not a bad shot to the hones. Wait, what do you mean by good? Hee hee hee. Man.
The rational left, everybody. Fucking
people
animals.
praising the assassin. Over here, this picture behind me. That shot was very likely. This is what I mean, dude. There's like a serious moral decay in society. Like, this is ridiculous. Camille says, I'm most scared of the quick reaction the administration will give as a result of the tragedy. It will not be as sad as usual, but it'll be quick and the result will be bad for most likely everyone. Yeah. Revan, thank you. This is fucking evil. No one deserves to be shot and killed like this. Yeah, 100%. You know what the problem is, guys? Is I think humanity, and I think this is just obvious to everybody. Humanity is just tribal in nature. Like, I think no matter what you do, humanity will be tribal.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know a lot about uploading videos to YouTube. I just kind of live stream there.
That's just the default state.
Again, like I said before, I try to avoid doing a lot of editing. I prefer to just like make raw content. That way, when people try to like accuse me of this, that, or the other editing blah, like, nah, absolutely not. I don't edit. I didn't modify nothing. That takes effort, and that's effort I don't want to expend.
And I think you can't escape it, no matter what. I think it's just how we are as people. It's better to remember Charlie and what he stood for, rather to focus on those who relish in his death. He was a man of faith who fought for this country and for the life of those most vulnerable. Unborn children, God bless him and his family, says Demet. I agree, but how can we fight the depravity in society if we refuse to look at it? That's how I feel about it. It's like, if we just keep pretending like this isn't real, and we just keep burying our heads in the sand, and we keep kicking the can forward, when are we gonna recognize that there's a moral problem? There's a serious decay of the soul in like the world. And when are we gonna, Luminous Gold said, events like this scare me. This is the kind of thing that will radicalize these creatures. And they capture these. Man, dude, he had a family and kids too.
Yeah, these people are savages. Like, let's be real. This guy's kind of a lunatic, so I'm interested to see what he has to say. He's usually
Charlie Kirk was
fairly on the provocateur side of things, but
assassinated, and everything is worse now. Now, Asmongold has been on a bit of a tear over the last couple of hours. He made a video, he made a couple of tweets, and I think it's really important to talk about a really specific
people are definitely crazy,
because I really
Send
do
them to
believe
the back
this
rooms,
is a turning
Cam.
point for the
Send
USA.
them all to the back
and I will be
rooms.
talking about it in various ways over the next couple of days, and probably for the next couple of years. I think people aren't recognizing how unbelievably tragic this situation is, not only from a humanity perspective, that you have an innocent man who fought for our country, for his family, and for God that was killed, but also the fact that this is going to have unbelievable repercussions to our country and democracy. It is absolutely diabolical, and the reality... the reality is the fact that...
I think I'll actually eat something. Like, I'll wrap this
who knows
stream up,
how preventable
eat
this could have been.
and then
Obviously,
come back
this
and
was
do the
God's
back
plan, and Charlie is in a better place now. As heart-wrenching
That way your
as it
back
is to
rooms will
say.
be just its
But
own
the reality
thing
is,
and not like scabbed
there's a lot
onto
of
the
crazy
back
stuff
end
that
of,
happens on the internet.
of a different,
you have a lot of people that are really
totally
comfortable
different
saying
topic.
things on the internet that will not be acceptable moving forward. I think that the world has come together to recognize that the violent rhetoric that happens online is absolutely dangerous and detrimental. And I think that everyone who was so worried about government surveillance, well, welcome to the era of government surveillance. The world is changing. You will have people absolutely taking the incitement to violence seriously moving forward. It is a truly horrifying reality that we're living in, and finally people are noticing. I've been screaming about this, literally yelling at the fucking walls that all the fucking far leftists inciting violence are gonna get somebody killed, and they killed the best of us. So Asmongold made this tweet. Anyone surprised what happened to Charlie Kirk hasn't been paying attention? He's right. Go anywhere, Reddit, Twitter, etc. You'll find thousands of unhinged direct calls to violence over politics. Until it's addressed for what it is, things like this will continue to happen. And he's right. We have laws. Our laws prevent stochastic terrorism. Our laws prevent incitement of violence. And our laws are not being
The thumbnail
upheld.
looked good.
When you have reputable journalists like Taylor Lorenz saying someone
I thought
has
it was
to
a
do in
video
regards
and
to
like
killing
opened
Trump.
it and
When
like
you have
waited
the
for stuff
former
to start
FBI
moving
director
and
saying 8647,
then nothing
which
started
means kill
moving
Trump,
and then it kind of
when you
dawned
have
on me that it was a picture.
the largest leftist political streamer in the world, Hassan Diddy Bin Laden Piker, yelling and screaming at his audience to kill United States senators. You know, at some point something awful and terrible is going to happen. And Charlie Kirk wasn't a radical. He wasn't far right. He wasn't some white nationalist. He was the best of us. He was just a guy. He was just a guy being a dude and fighting for what he believed in, fighting for God. And that was it. That's all that needed to happen. He was a Nazi in the eyes of the masses, and they're celebrating his death. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. So Elon Musk responds with yes, which I think is a good sign as far as what's to come. And it's absolutely terrifying to see where we actually go from here. Now, Legacy Killer HD points out that several game devs are liking posts by the senior artist mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination, including all these people from Coalition Gears, Bungie, MTG Arena, lots of people from different...
See, that was my point. That he just like iterated. Hold on, sorry, I was trying to grab a snack.
That was it. That's all that needed to happen. He was
And
a
yeah,
Nazi in the
yeah,
eyes of the
definitely.
masses,
Rest
and
in
they're
peace to
celebrating his
Charlie
death.
Kirk.
But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. So Elon Musk responds.
They've made a
yes,
martyr
which
out of
is
the
a good
man,
sign
and
as far as what's to come, and it's absolutely
like he said, probably not good signs for what's to come. Like I've even seen things basically like comparing this to the assassination of Martin Luther King. Like they picked the one person who had no interest in violence at any point and would talk to anybody about anything and try to find common ground. And that's what made him most dangerous.
terrifying to see where we actually go from here. Now, Legacy Killer HD points out that several game devs are liking posts by the senior artist mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination, including all these people from Coalition Gears, Bungie, MTG Arena, lots of people from different studios and gaming studios. Asmongold says, if you want me to make a list, if I have time tomorrow, I can put them all together in a video with links to their employers. People are taking this seriously. This isn't just some sort of mob going after wokeness in video games.
Yeah, apparently there's some real deranged game developers taking to their platforms to celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk. So, like I've been saying, people just need to call out their insane retards, and I guess some of the insane retards are game dev.
A good man was killed for this, and realistically, no one wants to see this happen again. No one. It's over. It's over. The radicalization process has happened, as they are calling it. I think people are not recognizing how unbelievably serious this situation is and how the world changed forever. Everything is worse now, and the world has changed. So, realistically, the list is growing. Asmongold is going to war. Libs of TikTok is making lists. And realistically, this is just gonna keep happening, and it's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. So Brian Crescenstein, far-left retard extraordinaire and a bit of a faggot, decides to say, at FBI, at Cash Patel, at X, help me, help me. Some guy with 100 followers said, fuck you, coming after you. We should arrest this guy. He said, fuck you to me. He said, coming after you. Asmongold responds, you thought you were cute with the 8647 t-shirts and other calls to violence. Now it's happening to you. It's not going to stop. Now it's only going to get worse, and no one should have any sympathy for you. Be safe. Now, Asmongold's tweet ratioed him 10x. Also, to be honest, this tweet is not a call to violence. This is not incitement. This is what we call an analysis. Yes, when you are part of the retard movement that constantly calls to violence because you are a fucking terrorist organization on the far left, and you're gonna keep pushing this shit, you're gonna keep yelling and screaming about it, realistically, this is a warning.
Oh, my day's all right, man. I just rebuilt some fence and stuff. My sheep keep escaping, and I don't really know where, because anytime I try to watch them escape, they just like stare at me and then they don't escape. But like the second I turn around, boom, they're like through the fence, and I little by little trying to figure out why.
Be safe. It is happening to you. You killed the best of us. It's crazy. It's crazy to live in this timeline. I still can hardly imagine it. So, of course, Brian Crescenstein, you know what he has to say about this? He only has wise words. Reporting this threat to the FBI and Secret Service and Elon Musk, please do something about this account. This Asmongold guy told me that that I should be safe. this is a threat. And Asmongold
I should be
doesn't give a
safe.
shit, because honestly, I think I have been like in the no fucks given mode for a couple of months now. But I really feel like the no fucks given mode is going viral. All right, I have fucks given fatigue. Asmon responds, trying to report me after I don't kowtow to
I don't know. The government's a shit show, man.
your pathetic attempt at sympathy baiting after you've spent months advocating for political violence. Who is this post for? Everyone can see through transparent manipulation. Completely true. You know, because this dude makes believe, oh no! A random guy on Twitter messaged me saying coming after you.
Oh, it's already 9. I think my food is actually done cooking. I'll be right back. Wait, where's the be right back button? Oop. Alright. That is still way too hot to eat. So I'm gonna let that cool off, and we're gonna let this continue while
What
that
are we
cools
doing,
down.
guys? I get death threats every single fucking day. I've never doled one out. I've never even seen anyone in my audience be sending death threats. You know what? I think Hassan Piker, for example, is a terrorist-supporting communist that should be deported or imprisoned. I really do. I think he's genuinely dangerous to the United States of America. I don't give him death threats. I don't see my audience give him death threats. This is really a left-exclusive ideology. It is the terrorist left. All right? Not just the far left. The terrorist left that are pulling this shit off. They really are. They always have. And you can tell because they align with the terrorists literally in every fucking conflict in the universe. Every global conflict with terrorists involved, the left supports the terrorists. Every single fucking time. It's pretty weird how it keeps aligning like that. Pretty weird, huh? So anyway, Hassan sees a clip from Asmongold's video, which we're going to watch. I didn't see it yet. But he sees a clip from Asmongold's video, and he's not happy that Asmongold is going scorched earth.
Practice genuine terrorism on a daily.
Dude, he's such a pussy. Just say you want me to be fucking killed, okay?
He's not saying that because he doesn't want you to be fucking killed.
Okay. What is this? What is this wishy-washy, like, oh, the left gets to do terrorism, and the left is defended for doing terrorism, and they should actually experience the violence themselves. That's what he's trying to say.
And then, you know, congratulate each other about how moral and how good they are for doing it, because something bad that happened in Palestine, or something bad that Donald Trump did 3 years ago. This is just
Twitch partner.
That's my point. These people are delusional. Nobody wants to see them harmed. We just disagree with them. But it's that simple. I mean, the ones who do heinous criminal things, we would love to see them brought to justice. I'm not really sure, Cam. I don't know a lot about. Wait, do you mean to Twitch or to YouTube? Because if you mean to Twitch, I don't know if you can like broadcast a pre-recorded video like live to Twitch. I don't know if you can make it alive if it's pre-recorded. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't know a lot about that kind of back end stuff. I've only been messing with this streaming stuff fairly heavily for like 6 to 8 months, something like that. So I really don't know a lot. All right, well, I'll keep chugging away at this video here while I eat my food, and then I'll wrap that up, and we'll go watch your Backrooms video. Because I've got a feeling a lot of what's in these like couple-hour-long videos is a lot of filler and commentary and not necessarily super important to the point I've been trying to make.
Partner streamer, by the way.
simply a response. This is what's going to happen. And so, and I think that that's probably what it's going to take for these left-wing people to realize what a bad idea what they've been doing is. Because until it starts happening to them, until they start having people that are their friends, or, you know, their, you know, like icons that they look up to, same way people look up to Charlie.
Dude, this is so fucking stupid, okay? This person is more my contemporary on the opposing side than fucking this rat is. I was supposed to debate him 2 weeks from now. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, he was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk in 2 weeks, and for the last 6 months, he's just been calling him a Nazi. I wonder if that had some sort of effect on it.
I've known this person for longer than I've known Asmongold. He has abhorrent views, okay? And I despise his views.
He does not have abhorrent views. He has incredibly normal views that, honestly, resonates with the majority of America. His views resonate with the majority of the country, Charlie Kirk. His abhorrent views is that abortion is murder. Oh, an abhorrent view. You shouldn't kill babies. Abhorrent, ladies and gentlemen.
But he's over here using the death of a dude I was supposed to debate 2 weeks from now to fucking call for violence in the pussiest way possible, without naming names here too, because he doesn't want to get banned. He doesn't want to go that far because he already experienced that. He already experienced that issue one time when he actually said, you know, Palestinians deserve genocide.
He never said that. He said he doesn't care if people that have genocide baked into their laws get genocided. That's what he said. At least quote him.
While he's fucking crying on the sidelines about 86-47, he's literally...
86-47 means kill Trump. 86 means to kill or to get rid of, and 47 is the 47th president. Sorry, bitch. Yeah, he's upset that people are calling for political violence.
Literally saying, until the left start dropping like flies, they won't understand the violence that they're causing in this country.
He's not trying to get anyone to kill people on the left. You're not the victim here, Hassan, okay? He's just basically saying, in basic, obvious terms, the left has been inciting violence constantly in America for the last many years. Every violent riot, every single one, except for January 6th, everyone was left-based. All of the political violence has been left-based violence. All of it, basically. So Hassan, who calls for terroristic violence all the fucking time and supports every terrorist organization he could possibly find, he's so mad.
Yeah. I guess part of the tone I'm noticing is the double standard is wearing real thin. And the problem is these things are going to make less intelligent people think that what the insane retards on the right have been saying is in fact accurate. As part of the major problem. This whole incident has caused a societal viewpoint shift that is quite dramatic. And I fear that shift may put what would have been otherwise rational people over an edge into the irrational.
When Asmongold says it's likely that there will be violence against the left now.
Why the fuck would I want to debate Charlie Kirk if I wanted him to be killed?
Literally the worst argument of all time.
It's so fucking stupid. This is a much more active death threat than...
This is not a death threat. He's just saying that the left has been committing violence against the right for years, and it's very likely gonna come back around to bite them. That's what he said. That's not a threat.
Any number...
Yeah, he's observing it. It's weird that Hassan Piker, political commentator, can't understand basic media literacy.
...of different clip chimp things that he could point to about me, okay?
Yeah, so Asmongold responds in a great way. Always the victim. Needless to say, I don't support political violence against anyone, obviously. I didn't even mention him in the video. Also, this was 2 days ago. Actually, it was yesterday. But this was Hassan calling for violence on Nick Fuentes. Now, again, I don't agree with the majority of Nick Fuentes' opinions that I've seen just clipped and thrown around. I do agree with some of them, by the way. I don't agree with all of them, obviously. I think he's definitely far right. He's definitely radical. This is what Hassan had to say.
No, we gotta, the moment is clear. You gotta sick the ACP guys on him. Okay, that's it. You gotta get one of those Haz al-Dink type motherfuckers to just eat his ass alive, Let him fight.
Yeah, so this is directly calling for violence on Nick Fuentes. Now, to be clear, this is a way more direct call to violence than anything Asmongold did. And also, to be clear, I think Nick Fuentes is much better for America than Hassan. Nick Fuentes probably wants me killed. I'm joking, obviously. I don't think he wants anyone killed, to be honest. But Nick Fuentes is definitely an incendiary guy. Yeah, he has his incredible hot takes, holy war against the Jews and all of that. But he's genuine. He fights for our country. He fights for our country. He does, in his own way. I disagree with a lot of his strategies, but he does fight for our country. He did have sadness and remorse and make a heartbreaking tweet when Charlie Kirk was killed, and he hated Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel. Hassan couldn't even condemn the shooting of Charlie Kirk. I watched it. I looked through his stream. I looked through his tweets. He didn't condemn the murder of the guy he was supposed to debate in 2 weeks. He couldn't condemn him. He couldn't condemn the political assassination that took place. Obviously, because he supports it, in my opinion. He supports all of the political violence. He supported the 2 Israeli guys getting murdered in Washington, D.C. a few months ago. And of course he supports this. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. He's a terrorist supporter. He's a communist. Of course he supports this. He should be deported immediately. But anyway, I wanted to see Asmongold's take.
The funny thing is, all of these people who the left will call extreme alt-right content creator, not a single one of them has advocated for violence. Isn't that kind of weird? I thought the right was Nazis and whatnot. Not seeing any advocacy for violence, any calls for violence. But the left sure is. We're sure celebrating a dead man.
Because the reality is, we are moving into a new era right now. A very, very scary era. And realistically, it's really, really fun, really fun, to take a look at how this will change the world moving forward. Because the internet will never be the same. All the people that are just sitting around and yelling and screaming about inciting violence to people, that shit's over. We're living in a new era. It's Palantir time, okay? People don't realize what we're walking into. I only hope that it makes the world a better place. Even though I fear that it may not.
Hey guys, it's me again, and it's been a little while. Just before I get into the main topic of the video, I want to explain why there haven't been any videos. My dad has been in the hospital for the better part of a week now.
Yeah,
very serious situation. It has required my full attention. And because of that, I've been on call.
Good son. That's what I'm talking about, man. This is a man that he's fighting for what's right. Fuck, dude. His dad has pancreatic cancer. Look, my grandmother died of pancreatic cancer. So I relate. It's horrible.
I've been dealing with other people, talking to members of the family, and doing everything that I need to be there for my dad and for my family during
we're praying for you guys. We are.
This situation, and because of that I haven't been live and I haven't made a lot of videos. I apologize for that. Hopefully I'll be back as soon as possible. That being said, we had something insane happen today, and I was able to break away a little bit earlier, and I wanted to make a video about it and talk about the obvious and inevitable nature of the
Yeah, things are gonna get real weird, y'all. Kind of what I'm getting at. Definitely keep your heads on a swivel. I think things are definitely going to get weird.
assassination of Charlie Kirk. This happened a few hours ago, and it was probably one of the most gruesome and graphic, and this is coming from somebody who grew up on Live Leak.
It was the worst. Like, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Literally one of the worst things I've ever seen. Just seeing that video with blood pouring out of his neck, dude. The moment I saw that video, I just said, all right, well, it's in God's hands because no man could save him. And I guess God decided it was his time. It literally fucked me up. It destroyed me. It really did. This was a good man.
Videos I've ever seen. The first time I saw a video, I thought it was AI generated.
Yeah.
The guy gets shot in the neck and blood is spurting out. I didn't even know it could do that. And
he literally got shot right in the jugular.
And it was absolutely fucking horrifying to see something like that happen.
And to a guy that, you know, I've watched hours and hours of his content. I've had DMs with him on Twitter. You know, he was a guy. He was a force for good, ultimately. He really was. It was horrific. Absolutely horrific. Just to see that happen. Yeah, I will never forget it. It will be burned into my head forever. It changed me as a person. It did. It did. I give so much credit to Charlie for what he's done. He really brought, in my opinion, he really brought God into the public discourse. You know? He was never someone to stray away from it, and he died for God. He was a real martyr, a genuine legend, a faithful servant. Can't even, like, wrap my head around how horrifying this is.
In front of a massive audience of people. Now, if you don't know who Charlie Kirk...
In front of 3,000 people. Executed publicly. And he had security and everything.
Yeah, it's just truly insane. And the fact that these people are celebrating it. And
situation is
apparently there's a name. This came out 4 hours ago. That was right actually around when I started getting stuff together for this video.
rapidly developing. In fact, there was a press conference scheduled for several hours ago that was canceled. My opinion, probably because they got a name or they got a body. I'll explain that more, but I think tonight we're going to get a name and perhaps an arrest or a body retrieval. Part of me believes the man that did this probably has been no longer with us for some amount of time, as is with almost everybody who's tried this. Although Ralph stayed around.
Sounds like weird conspiracy shit to me.
So we'll have to see. Trump issued some new, kind of like he might have some inside information. So let's talk about that. And then, of course, make sure you turn notifications on because I'm out of notifications for the day. You only get 3. And when I hopefully have a video later, also make sure to subscribe to my second channel. 3 to 4 videos a day are going up there right now. It's going to only be 1 after a while. But the situation is developing so rapidly, I have to use both channels. So just search Jeremy Space Hambly or use the link in the description. Subscribe to that channel too, in case, I'm trying to alternate where the videos are so that notifications actually get sent. Now, here we have the sniper's nest of where this individual took his shot. And if we look, this looks like straight on, pretty much a straight on shot. Interestingly enough, if they had moved the tent 15 feet to the right, he would not have had a clear shot from there. I was wondering if it came across, like when I saw him reach his neck, I thought it went straight through and through, but I haven't seen, nor I don't really need to see, but it must have come straight on. Or hit the chest and fragmented and went through that way. Whatever it was, you can see it hit whatever it hit the off button. And if there's any semblance at all, it's that he didn't have any, it was quick. Now, X and our Twitter is sharing all sorts of pictures saying this is the person that did it. There's no evidence whatsoever of that. There's people passing around these photos of this person. If it ends up being this individual, okay, but there is, they just because they live in Utah and they're a trans male, I don't think that's any evidence at all. So be careful. Hey, if 4chan ends up being right, fine, but it's also important not to get sued and not be saying, oh, this is definitely somebody, and be sharing their face and identity around. There's no evidence that that's the person.
To be fair, there might not actually be a name in this. It may just be fucking clickbait. The quartering kind of has a tendency to be fucking clickbaity.
You see, T-shirt, debate this. Now they're selling shirts with apparently Charlie Kirk losing his life. I hope I see somebody wearing this shirt on the street. It would be great. I think it would be great to talk to them. It would be great to, have a conversation with them. Now, here's some of the news. Also, by the way, JD Vance is currently meeting with Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica, and 2 children in Salt Lake City. Charlie and his casket will be flown back to his home state of Arizona aboard Air Force 2. I think that is very fitting. Donald Trump also awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom or Honor. I can't remember exactly which one. I'm a big supporter of that. Now, there was supposed to be a press conference maybe 2 hours ago at the time of filming. It's almost 5 o'clock Central, almost 6 o'clock Eastern right now. I have to actually run an errand. So hopefully, I don't care if I'm gone. I hope that the next video I upload is going to be about them finding this loser. But
Israel?
President Trump said he had an indication to what motivated Charlie Kirk's assassin and expressed confidence that the killer would be caught very soon as the manhunt stretches over 24 hours. My guess is they have a name. They've zeroed in. The picture is just too... This disguise is not good. So whoever, I don't know him, so I'm not like, oh, that's that guy. But if your best friend, just, a friend of yours or your son or a guy you worked with, just put on a pair of sunglasses and a hat, you'd recognize them. And all these rapid developments have been happening. The FBI released images of the person of interest in the Charlie Kirk case in desperate appeal for help, offering $100,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. Federal agents said earlier that they had found the rifle in the woods, obviously, but admitted they still have not identified the man who did it. The manhunt has entered its second day. Well, it's really just, I guess you could say it's the second day, I suppose. It's been about 26 hours. They had 2 men briefly taken into custody, but both were released. Now, Trump says he has an indication. We'll let you know about that later. Trump expressed confidence that the investigators would soon be able to catch Kirk's killer, telling reporters, "We hope they can do that soon." He branded the lunatic an animal, that law enforcement would continue to hunt, and vowed to deal with him very appropriately. The president said that he had spoken with Kirk's widow, Erica, earlier in the day, and she is devastated, absolutely devastated. Now, obviously, they had this person of interest thing, but perhaps the biggest
I keep seeing
indication that
I've seen a bunch of that, but like I don't buy it. But maybe. It is. It is. The left is truly insane.
they may be close is that they canceled a press conference. Charlie Kirk updates press conference delayed due to, quote, rapid developments. FBI offers $100,000 reward. I'm assuming the rapid developments is that they got somebody's name. That's my guess. That's my guess. First photos of a person of interest, and obviously was covered this morning, early or late last night, I guess. The news broke early this morning, but they had not made that public. Right now, basically, that story was broken by Steven Crowder, who has now been subpoenaed over sharing that information. I know for a fact he will protect those sources. The reward, great. If somebody hopefully they'll turn him in. Also, interestingly, they talked about the spot that he picked, so he could get miles and miles away in just a few minutes. This was very well thought out. 200 yards from the courtyard to where he was sitting. Pretty straight shot, though. And what's crazy is we don't know how far away he got. There's these jet theories, this, that, and that. I don't buy any of that. He didn't get on a private jet. My guess is he self-checked out. Now, here's the part where Trump's talking to reporters. Do you know the motivation? He says, I have an indication. Now, he could be talking about the Antifa messages on the ammo, but I'm guessing he has more information.
Motivation, sir?
I have an indication, yeah, but we'll let you know about that later.
What are you going to do about the Russian attack on Poland? Motivation, sir?
I have an indication, yeah, but we'll let you.
Again, he could be talking about the shells. This thing he says, I hear they're making big progress, and we'll have to see what happens. I hope. Again, this guy was on camera. I would argue, by the way, there's a website set up now, charliesmurderers.com, and apparently people are now doxing folks who are celebrating Charlie Kirk's passing.
And see, this is what the left gets. They've riled people up, and now they're going to get their energy matched. And that's just going to embolden the insane retards on the right. And down the fucking shit show we go, y'all. Buckle up. It's going to get fucking weird.
And while I cannot tell anybody to do this, I can say I don't care. I hope hundreds of people lose their jobs for this, for celebrating it. It's vile. It's gross. It's inhumane. And it's the type of behavior that we just don't need in civilized society. Turning Point just put out this message. Every one of us at Turning Point USA is crushed and devastated by the hateful murder of our founder and guiding light, Charlie Kirk. All of us have lost a leader, a mentor, and a friend. Above all, our hearts are with Erica and their 2 children. Charlie was the ideal husband and the perfect father. Above all else, we ask you to pray for the Kirks after this incomprehensible loss they have suffered. More than anyone, Charlie believed in the power of the argument and good faith debate to find the truth and guide what guides people forward. If no agreement, then at least mutual understanding. Charlie was no stranger to threats. He received thousands throughout his life, but he has always prioritized reaching as many young people as possible over his own personal safety. Now Charlie has become America's greatest martyr to the freedom of speech he so adored. In his 31 years, Charlie lived more than any of us will in 100. He had an overwhelming passion for life and a deep belief in his power as an individual to make a difference with the spirit of a pioneer. Charlie launched Turning Point out of his parents' garage as an 18-year-old with no money, no name recognition, only a dream. His energy and drive were awe-inspiring, without equal and deeply infectious. Charlie refused to squander a single day of his life. He was a natural builder and a problem solver who loved a challenge and saw every setback as a chance to learn, grow, pray, and then try again. He was fundamentally decent and always eager to make new friends and allies to support and defend the ones he had already made. His values were timeless American ones: honesty, forthrightness, duty, loyalty, and fair play. They just put this out on his Charlie's official Twitter account. Right now, I don't plan. If you see another video come out tonight, it's because we have a name, or a major development. I need to go get my head right. I need to stop.
This one was supposed to be the name, you jackass at the quartering. That's why I don't like
Alex
that dude.
Jones.
Like, he annoys me. He's always fucking clickbaity, whatever, bullshit, fucking stupid ass. This will be the last video. If there's another one, we have a name. Here's another one. 2 hours after the one I just saw. Again, is it a name? No. You're gonna waste the fucking time. Like, you're fucking stupid. This is, we have a name. That's what we literally just watched. No fucking name. This dude annoys me. Well, yeah. So, I don't know if y'all see what I see, but there's a dramatic change in the tone, and well, with the number of people celebrating, I don't know. I don't think things are gonna get better, get worse. That's for sure. I don't know. I don't know the things that go through people's heads. Yes, sir, Cam. I was just going to find your video on YouTube here, and then like get ready to make the shift while doing my wrap up, whatever banter analysis. I don't need a bajillion of these pages anymore. I'm just gonna wrap this up, and then we'll be back in like, I don't know, probably 5 minutes, however long it takes me to change titles on all the different things. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for stopping in. Cam, Weeb, Kiki, B-Mag. What was that other guy's name? I'm sorry, other guy. Merton. It was Merton. I swear it was Merton. Thank you guys for stopping in and talking. I appreciate you guys. You're all awesome. Anybody who watches these in the future, don't forget, like, follow, subscribe, comment, join my Discord, and yell at me directly if you want to be a like super asshole and don't want to be filtered. Then Discord's the best place to be hateful towards me. that aside, we will be back in like 5 minutes, or like I said, however long it takes me to change the titles, and we're going to be watching Cam's backroom movie, and we'll be doing some reaction to that at his request. So thank you guys again for all stopping in. I appreciate it. You're all awesome, and we'll be back shortly. Have a wonderful brief few minutes, and oh, you're gonna hit me with that now, Cam? Okay, I'll stretch. I'm sorry you can't see the stretch, but the stretch is being stretched. You're gonna throw me a curveball at the end? All right, Cam, I see how it is. I see how it is. But yeah, everybody, you're all awesome. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe, like Cam said. I love it, Cam. You're great. Everybody stay feral, fam.